Hello there, welcome to another episode of Living with Shade. Hope you guys had a great weekend. I did, but for this reason, my happy weekend was cut short. Today we'll be discussing a very sensitive matter. It is an issue that concerns Nigerians, concerns the world at large. If you are part of the human race and you have a soul in you, it concerns you, and that is why I didn't feel good when I heard about it. Today we'll be discussing domestic violence and abuse. Yesterday one of my fans called me up to tell me one or two things about how she has been trying to manage her marriage, to manage the relationship she has with her husband, but it seems the going is getting tougher by the day. I understand. I could feel her pain, and it hurt me so much. It hurt me deep to the point that I feel there is a necessity to share these issues with you. It is a matter that we all must come together and fight, and it is eating the fabric and every facet of this economy, of this country, and of the human race as a whole. So that was why I told you at the beginning of this show that it really concerns us all. Domestic violence. We tend to overlook it. We tend not to see it as a big deal. But it is a big deal. When it gets to a point where your life is being threatened by somebody who claims to love you, or by somebody who feels that they are responsible for you, then there is a problem. There is a problem as a human being if you do not have a soul within your body to know that I am not supposed to inflict injury on somebody because I have a point to prove. There is a problem. As persons, we need to be able to control ourselves. We need to be able to know that this is the line, I shouldn't cross it. And that is our problem. Domestic violence, also known as domestic abuse, is a situation where somebody inflicts injury or abuses the other person, probably because they are cohabiting together, or it is a relationship or a marriage. As at that point, that person the person that is abusing the victim feels that he is responsible for them and he has every right to do it. I think basically the reason why domestic violence is endemic in this country is because we do not see it as a problem. And in truth and sincerity, women overwhelmingly, have much more proportion and are prone to these abuses than men. I cannot take away the fact that men too are abused domestically, because we heard of situations where men have died, in the hands of their spouses. No doubt about that. No doubt. I personally heard of a story where a woman cuts off her man's private parts because she caught him cheating. That is domestic violence. What was she thinking? She was actually thinking, to take away his life. She has reduced him to nothing. We need to be able to control ourselves. And when you feel that you're going overboard, you are getting to a point where you cannot control your anger, please seek help. Seek help before you get into trouble. If you kill somebody, nobody wants to check out the reasons for which you have killed that person. Nobody wants to know that whether you were provoked to it or not. You have killed somebody and you are wasting your life away. I feel that we should get to a point where we understand the consequences of our actions. When she called me up, she was all up in tears. She could not leave the home because she felt she had a responsibility to her kids. She didn't want to leave her kids. She loved this man to the point that she feels that this man is having a problem that is, psychological. and that he doesn't know what he's doing whenever he does that. Yeah, I understand. But seek help, and seek help real quick. Probably you advise him to go to a psychologist, or you take him to a consultant, or you pray about this thing so that you don't lose your life in the relationship. And when it turns out to be very life-threatening, probably maybe it is time for you to excuse him a little bit till he gets help, and then you can come back. This life is too short for us to leave it in misery, leave it in pain, leave it in trouble. We need to have human feelings. Whatever it is that somebody does to you, obviously there will be a point where we will be provoked. I know women, we have very sharp mouths. There are times when we talk and we talk in a manner that belittles the man totally and belittles them entirely. I can relate. I am a woman. I know that my mouth is sharp too. And so we women should understand that there are things that you don't say to your spouses. There are things you don't say to your husband. There are things you don't say because it pushes them to a point where they may not be able to control their anger. So it is both parts. It is something that we all must do together. We must do it together. Do not talk to your husband anyhow. Do not talk to your spouse anyhow. Do not aggravate, the problem that they have already. He may have lost his job, and then because you are fending for him or feeding the family, you bring it and throw it at his face. At that point, he is vulnerable. And when you belittle him as a human being, he will react. And when he reacts, you cannot stand it. Men are physical, and they take solace in it. Why would you put yourself in a situation where you will be at his mercy, crying, and then eventually you'll be seeking for help? Try to control your tongue. Do not talk anyhow to him. Men love their respect. Do not push them to a point where they will go overboard and want to beat you up or do anything that you do not like. Respect him. Also, please, the Bible says, men, love your wives. Please, do not beat her up. Try to talk mutually, understand each other, so that violence will not be involved. I hope that this has been able to help. Thanks for watching. God bless you. Till I come your way again. Bye for now.